Hi, good evening, good morning, everyone. On behalf of Edmonton Movie Club, I welcome you all for this special session, meet and greet session with uh, like the Vitthal Teedi team and also the OHO Gujurati OTT team. And we are really excited to have two exciting player people here. I don't want to give. I think probably you guys already know. It's Abhishek Jain, who you can already see is the director and also founder of OHO Gujurati. He's here with us, and I also have Melanie from Pardesi Reviews. She's one of the moderators for tonight, and also I have Pramesh Nandi from Toronto. He's has a music academy, and he's heavily involved with a lot of film activities in Canada, and also you guys all probably know that he's also his daughter is also Vima Nandi, who is acts a lot of Gujarati films, and she's also currently acting in a Telugu film. So, anyways, before going, we are expecting the Pratik Gandhi, who is the actor for this series, also going to join us in a few minutes. Before we start, I just want to give a brief introduction. I'll start with Melanie here, who's going to be the moderator. Melanie Greenberg has reviewed a lot of Indian films and several Malayalam language films. She has interviewed a lot of people, including Edmonton Movie Club's Film Festival, India Film Festival of Alberta. She has recently she did an interview with the Golkeri team. So that was the closest association we had. And also Melanie is also one of the festival movie reviewers. She also is a jury for our short film festival. So thanks, Melanie, for being a moderator for today's session. And then now I have Pramesh Nandi. Pramesh Nandi is the executive director for Swaruga Music Academy, based out of Toronto. He's a well-known musician in Canada. Like if he's called the Garba King, every Garba that happens in Toronto and Canada, everyone knows him. And he's also, crowned as the jewel of the community by the Indian Consulate of Canada. He's extremely community-oriented person, and also is heavily involved with India Film Festival of Alberta. Like from the founding 2018 in Toronto chapter, he's involved, and is really the philanthropic and magnanimous person of IFA, I would say. Really nice person. If you guys are coming to Toronto, maybe you should say hi to him. He should probably invite you for a dinner. That's the kind of person he is. So then I'm going to have a brief intro about our good friend Abhishek Jain. Abhishek is a good friend of Edmonton Movie Club from the starting years, from his movie Kevirite Jaish. We have a journey with him actually. Abhishek, I'm going to give you a short intro, but I think Melanie is going to dig deeper. But Abhishek is basically a management graduate initially, but then he got interested in films. Then he did his education in Whistling Woods. He has worked with various well-known Bollywood directors like Sanjay Leela Bhansali and Subhash Ghai. He's worked in a lot of advertising campaigns, including Mr. Ram Badwani's, who's known for his movie Nircha. The biggest thing about Abhishek is he is the trendsetter of Gujarati cinema. His movie Kevirite Jaish pretty much started the big push about Gujarati films going to the next level. Until then, like we know about Gujarati films, but then Kevirite Jaish started it, and then it went on to Bey Yaar is one of the widest open film in Gujarati film industry back in 2014, and I think it even opened in 14 countries internationally, which is huge for Gujarati film. And he went on to win a lot of awards in Gujarat as well. Then Mr. Abhishek decided to go on a lull, but he still produced a film, but he didn't want to direct. But you're going to hear more about that. But alongside Raju, he went on to produce with, I think, Phantom Films, Anurag Kashyap, and then that film went on to win a national award. I also remember Abhishek, when I met him, he met Prime Minister Narendra Modi because he was personally invited for having tea, including his parents were invited, which is a greatest achievement, I would say, for a person. to be invaded by Prime Minister of a country. I'm really happy to hear those kind of stories. But you're going to hear more about that. So I think I don't want to take more time. I'm going to give the floor to Melanie and Pramesh Nandi to take over. I think they're going to be the moderator for the session tonight. Thank you, guys.
Madan, you were supposed to give a very brief introduction. This was like my kundali that you just revealed to everyone. You shouldn't have done that.
So, Abhishek, I watched this series and I really enjoyed it. Vitthal Teedi is again on the new OHO OTT platform. I have a lot of questions about it. It was, as Madan mentioned, your last film that you produced was Wrong Side Raju, and that I believe was 6 or 7 years ago. What was it about this story? This web series is based on a short story about this small town gambler that compelled you to come back behind the camera again and make this film or make this series.
So for me, it's not a very conscious decision about any story per se. And I don't believe in that. I don't think that as a creator, you have that authority to really pick on subjects. I think it's the other way around. Subjects pick you. The stories pick you. The stories decide whether they want to get made or told by a particular director or a filmmaker or whoever that person is. So in my case, I was just floating around. I was just waiting for the right time to come. I was just waiting for the right story to pick me. And then once that happens, maybe, I will, take it up on my sleeve. So with Vitthal Teedi, 2 years back when I read the short story, I was intrigued. I was intrigued with the character because I'm a huge fan of Amitabh Bachchan. I have seen a lot of his films a lot of times. So for me, that character was someone who, Vitthal was a character who could represent that era of the angry young man. And this was my choice to pay an ode to him. Because my existence is because of Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, because my dad is a huge fan of Amitabh Bachchan. He named me because he came to know that it is Amit ji's son who's been named Abhishek. So that's how this is how it all starts, right? And I also remember very categorically in one of his interviews in India Today, when he turned 60, he pronounced it on the television that he would like to work with new age directors. I think that I have a very faint memory of that point of interview when I realized that, okay, I want to get into films and one day maybe I want to, stand in front of him and direct him or tell him a story. Wow. But these are all fantasies, So they all came alive when I read Vitthal Teedi's story. And I thought that this is the right time to make something. This is exciting. Also, I like challenges because I have been tagged as the urban Gujarati filmmaker. This was my time to take a plunge and maybe take up the challenge and go into the, interiors of Gujarat and create a milieu and an era of the 80s, pay an ode to Amitabh Bachchan. So all the boxes were getting ticked. And obviously from day one, when I read this story, Pratik was in my mind, and I had bounced it off to Pratik way back. And he was also equally excited. We kept on bouncing ideas to each other, and that's how we landed at Vitthal Teedi. It's been a long journey, but was fun.
Did you always think of it as being a series instead of a film? Because I think it works extremely well as a series, and I'm not sure if there would have been other expectations if it had been a feature film.
So until last year, it was in form of a film. But when we went more deeper into the screenplay writing, we realized that the narrative doesn't have very strong plot points. It has a character's journey.
Yes.
And it would best fit if you can make it in part of a series so that you can explore the character even more and you can explore the other world around him even more, explore more characters around him. So that I think was the crucial point to take a decision.
Pratik, what was it about this character that appealed to you that you wanted to do this series? I don't know if you can hear me. You're muted.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah. Welcome, Pratik. So pleased to meet you virtually.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
So what was it about this character that appealed to you that you wanted to do this series?
I love playing complex emotions on screen or on stage too. And this is another character that gave me that opportunity to create this, complex human emotions in front of the camera. Apart from that, the story is very, very appealing to me. It appealed to me on a different level because there are a lot of stories from Gujarat, interior Gujarat, Saurashtra, and this particular region of Gujarat that I had been reading, I had been listening all my life. And this is for the first time that I'm a part of a story which is coming from that region of Gujarat. There are a lot of famous literature writers of Gujarati literature who have written a lot about this region. And one of my favorite is Jhaved Meghan. So if you read anything written by Jhaved Meghan, you will get this flavor.
So
This is
Abhishek,
yeah.
oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. But Abhishek, so from the beginning, was this story set in the 80s? I mean, I just have to tell you, I don't know the name of your costume designer, but I loved everything about the production look, the costumes, Pratik's collars being all the way out to the ends of his shoulders, the Amitabh jacket, everything. I loved all of that.
Yeah.
Yes,
I guess right from the beginning, the story was of 80s.
Yeah. And Nikki Joshi is the costume designer who did a wonderful job. And that bomber jacket is something that I wanted anyhow to be right, because that was my ode to Mukaddar Ka Sikandar and Lavaris.
So one thing that I really enjoyed about the story is that it felt fresh and original. For instance, the father character is a priest. And just to let you know, my father was a minister. So I like the fact that here was a priest who, the normal, you would think the conflict of the story would be that he would be completely against his son gambling, and that would be the source of conflict within the family. But instead, Vitthal literally learns how to gamble in his father's lap, as a young child. And, he's supportive of his son all the way through. So I really liked how it did something unexpected there. And that child actor, by the way, I don't know who your casting agent is, but that child actor is amazing. I loved him. Abhishek, I don't know if I am mute.
Yeah. I could hear you. I mean, we didn't have a casting agent per se in place. We just casted people whom we knew and whom we had got in touch with. Yeah. I could hear you. I mean, we didn't have a casting agent.
I don't know. The audio is for Abhishek is kind of delayed a little bit.
I mean, we didn't have a casting agent. Am I audible now?
It seems to be a network error.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
I guess
all right.
Ramesh
So,
wants to say something. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So you are on mute.
Ramesh, I think you're on mute. Yeah.
No, you're okay.
You're on mute.
Oh, Pramish is on mute. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, how are you, Pratik?
All good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. And welcome back again to this show. So excited, and I watched the entire series. I mean, Melanie was saying about all good things about the series. You have acted fantastically, and the fantastic direction. I have no words, Abhishek bhai. The way you have directed, the way the screenplay writing was done, the costume designing, Nikki has done fabulous job. I mean, everything was Pratik bhai. You were looking like Amitabh Bachchan. I swear, I'm not joking. The way you were, and the way you came out from the water and said, Vitthal, Vitthal, Vithtala, Hari Om, Vithtala. Oh God. My goosebumps are there. Oh my God, I just cannot.
Yes, Abhishek gave you some hero entrance slow-mo that was very effective.
I love slow motion. I am a huge fan of Wong Kar-wai films and Martin Scorsese. So this is where it all comes from.
Yeah,
Correct,
it
correct.
was
I have
it was
a
amazing.
question for you, Abhishek bhai. That being pioneer in urban cinema, as Madanji rightly mentioned, that you started with Kevirite Jaish and then Bey Yaar. And in Bey Yaar, you have given us this wonderful diamond of Indian cinema, who is now superstar of Bollywood also. I'm so proud of him. And I just want to, uh, if you could just share your journey and how you met each other and you decided that તમે એને એમને લેવા માંગો છો તમારા મૂવીમાં ને એ બધું કેવી રીતે શક્ય બન્યું? થોડુંક ગુજરાતી થોડુંક ઇંગ્લિશ આપણે એવી રીતે, કારણ કે બધા બિચારા ગુજરાતી લોકો.
ચોક્કસ ડેફિનેટલી ચોક્કસ. તો પ્રમેશ સર, બેસિકલી હું બિલકુલ બી જવાબદાર નથી જો આપે એવું કહ્યું હોય કે I gave superstar Pratik. I don't believe in these things, but this is our good karmic connection that we met each other, we worked with each other, we had our set of differences in the past. We also had our sense, set of fights and quarrels and love for each other, admiration for each other. પણ બહુ જ ઇન્ટરેસ્ટિંગ બનાવ બન્યો હતો જ્યારે સૌથી પહેલી વખત હું બે યાર માટે મારા એક્ટર્સ ગોતી રહ્યો હતો ત્યારે દિવ્યાંગ એક કેરેક્ટર હોવાનું હતું, એ તો બહુ નક્કી જ હતું. દિવ્યાંગ ઠક્કર, who played Harish in કેવી રીતે જઈશ, he was there as Chaco in the film anyways, but I was looking for Tino, and I wanted a lanky tall guy in front of a chubby chubby looking boy. So like, that was my imagery of casting the other person. And
Maybe-
then
Maybe Jaydev and Viru of Sholay.
yeah, maybe Jay and Viru of Sholay. That probably, yeah. So this all comes from Bachchan, everything comes from Bachchan. In fact, even while there we were shooting, I told them that my biggest reference is Sholay, because the friendship that you see of Dharmendra ji and Amit ji is iconic. So and I wanted to see that iconicity in them. So what happened is that I connected with Pratik on Facebook. I wrote him a message. I got a reference from a couple of people about this boy called Pratik Gandhi. I said, okay, great, let's meet him. And then, but I didn't want to meet him. अगर आप casting के लिए मिलते हैं, so it looks very odd के casting के लिए मिलते हैं. I never do auditions. I never take auditions. I don't meet people like I'm meeting them for casting. It looks like you're window shopping. So I don't do that. So I meet people because I need to understand the vibe of the person. I need to really know that person better to be able to imagine myself working with that person. So with that intention, I met him outside Prithvi Theatre in Mumbai. And that day I also, while I was meeting him, I had scheduled half an hour later, Divyang would come, in that same cafe, because Divyang was supposed to meet me. I think, if I'm not wrong, this is how it happened, right, Pratik? That you were already there, we both were talking, and then Divyang entered, and then you guys chatted, and then I walked back a little just to see whether my Jay or Viru looks exactly the way Jay and Viru should look. And then આ કેવું થાય છે, તમે કોઈ સગપણ કરવાના હોય કોઈના, તો તમારે પરણાવવું હોય તો તમે બંને જણાને કહેવો નહીં, છોકરાને કે છોકરીને, કે અમે તમને એટલા માટે મેળવીએ છીએ. અને કોઈ ત્રીજી જ પાર્ટીના લગ્ન પ્રસંગમાં તમે બંનેને એક સાથે જુઓ છો, પછી દૂરથી બધા ઘરવાળા જો કે નહીં, જોડી તો સારી લાગે છે, બંને સારા દેખાય છે. તો આવી ઘટના હતી. અરે તો મને જામી ગયા, અને પછી we started working together. So it was fun. It started at a very fun note. I was only skeptical because Pratik comes from a theatre background and he didn't have an extensive experience of working for cinema. I was a little apprehensive because I myself have done theatre. I was a little apprehensive whether he would understand the medium or not. And I was apprehensive until I took that first shot with him. And the moment I took the first shot, I realized that this man is probably ready for cinema. He's adaptable. So that's how it was. It was fun working with him.
I know. Oh my God. That was, I still remember, Melanie, I would share my experience about watching Bey Yaar. In first show in Bombay, I was there at that time, and I could not get tickets. And immediately there was a second show, and I got ticket in like corner in fourth row or maybe third row from the screen. Oh my God.
Sorry about that.
But then it was awesome experience watching that movie. Salute to you about that. Yeah, over to
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Melanie.
No, yeah, I really I enjoyed Bey Yaar very much. I watched it recently, and I wanted to, and so it's wonderful that all of your content is on this new OTT platform. For instance, I recently watched Wrong Side Raju, and there's no subtitles on Amazon Prime for that film. It's there,
Yeah.
but you've provided subtitles on this new platform. Because I know, you're not just wanting to reach a Gujarati audience, you're wanting to reach out to other people, and also second generation diaspora people that want, children of immigrants who want to also fully understand your films. So how did this idea of this new OTT platform come to be?
Okay, so 2 years back, Melanie, I was wondering that there are so many stories that come to us in form of emails, messages. People come and talk to you. They narrate these stories, and every story cannot probably fit in form of a theatrical release or cinema. Every story, because all the narratives are a little different. But how far and for how long are we going to reject these stories just because it cannot be made in form of cinema? That's when it kicked in that why not have our own OTT platform? And also the emotional factor, like across the world, if you see OTT platforms internationally, nationally, in India, there are so many OTT platforms.
Yes.
And there are few regional OTT platforms, like Bengali has its own OTT platform, Telugu has its own OTT platform. Why can't Gujarati have its own OTT platform? It would be so good and wonderful to actually watch, on the App Store, on the Play Store, when you go and you put in the entertainment segment and you see all sorts of international OTT platforms. There is this one, letter which is in Gujarati, and it's written OHO Gujurati. That's, I think, is proud moment for all of us. And then when you click, you enter into the world of Gujarat. And it is not only for Gujaratis. We want the world to know our culture. We want the world to know that our literature is so rich. There are so many talented people. There are so many talented writers. There are so many stories that has to be told. So the idea was to pick these stories from villages, from smallest center to the largest audience, to pick them from anywhere in the world where Gujaratis stay. And it is a saying that Gujaratis stay all across the world. So I want everyone in the world to know, if I could watch a Spanish money heist, I want someone in the world to watch a Gujarati Vitthal Teedi.
Right. That's the thing about this time of COVID, when we're all under lockdown. We're all exploring, because we're stuck at homes, we're all exploring different cinema, different shows from all around the world, as we're watching on all of these streaming services. So like you say, why not? Now, you said you've asked for stories. So tell me more. Are you trying to encourage young filmmakers for them to submit scripts to you, and so that you can make original content? I've read in another interview that you said you want to have original content on OHO every 10 days or so. Can you tell us more about that?
So a year back, we started inviting people to tell their stories. And I believe every one of us has got a story in their own minds and heart. So everyone should come forward and tell their story. It's not necessary that the story has to be articulated. It is necessary that you express. And that's where it all started. People started flooding our email boxes with their stories. Obviously, not all the stories are worth telling, but in a very short span of time, we got 880 emails from various people. And these are the stories, and we are sitting on a bank of stories. We started selecting these stories. We started reading them. We started, filtering them. We started choosing them from the point of view whether we will be able to do justice with our production value or not, and all of that. And then the idea is that in this period of lockdown, when we are all sitting at home, we did a lot of brain churning. We also did a lot of shooting. So we prepared around 14 web series right now as we speak. And these 14 web series, so the promise that OHO makes is that every 10 days, we will offer you a new web show. So if this is the promise that I am talking about from day zero. With the kind of overwhelming response that we have got, you never know. These 36 around the year, that is almost tentatively 3 shows a month, comes down to 36 around the year, might increase to 50. You never know that. There are so many stories to be told. So yeah, so OHO Gujarati has to offer a lot of premium Gujarati content two people across the globe. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So for those who haven't seen the series, it says it's only chapter 1. And while it is a story in and of itself, you kind of leave us hanging and wanting more, especially more of this character so beautifully portrayed by Pratik. Pratik is a very busy man. He's very much in demand. When can we expect the next chapter of this new series? Is it in the works already? Please tell me.
No. So we have started writing it, but in the next 7 months we will have the series out with people.
Very good.
I have one more question for you. I mean, Scam 92, a total different Pratik Gandhi was there, and Vitthal Teedi, if you look at, you are totally different.
Yes.
I mean, how do you do this? We love Vitthal as Vitthal, we love Harshad Mehta as Harshad Mehta, but both the roles are so different. And so I would like to ask you about your journey as well. How did you start, and who inspired you for acting? Who was your role model, kind of thing? So please tell us about that, so that our Canadian people can also listen to you about this.
So, Ramesh bhai, actually creating different character is my main job though, and it all comes from the theater background that I come from, and I always believed that each character has its own different journey and emotional graph. So, as an actor, I want to explore different characters in a way where I don't want to see myself into it. So forget about the other character's
Yes.
impression on it. I don't even want to see myself into it, and that's what I try every time. So I mean, it gives me good satisfaction when after every film or every stage show or any series, when people know me by the name of the character and not my name.
That is what I was telling you, that when I saw Chandrakant Bakshi, I was not watching you as Pratik Gandhi, but I was really means only Chandrakant Bakshi was there in front of me. Or when I watched Vitthal Teedi, only Vitthal was there as a character, not you as Pratik Gandhi. That's really awesome. I mean, salute to you about that, and that
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you,
takes
thank
you
you.
to the different level altogether. And we all see our superstar in you, and you are superstar.
અરે રે સાહેબ.
તમારી પોતાની જર્ની જે છે, એટલે વિઠ્ઠલ તીડી માટે ખાસ કરીને હું એટલા માટે પૂછું છું કે એક નાનકડા, આઈ થિંક ગીરમાં એનું શૂટ થયું છે, ઇફ આઈ એમ નોટ રોંગ, અને
Yes.
નાના ગામડામાં તમે લોકોએ જ્યાં શૂટ કર્યું, કેવી કેવી મુશ્કેલીઓનો સામનો તમારે, બીકોઝ ધેટ વોઝ કોવિડ ટાઈમ, રાઈટ? તો બહુ જ
Yeah.
મુશ્કેલીઓનો તમારે સામનો કરવો પડ્યો હશે. પ્લીઝ ટેલ મી સમથિંગ અબાઉટ ધ જર્ની ઓફ વિઠ્ઠલ તીડી.
So વિઠ્ઠલ ટીડી માટે અમે લોકોએ શૂટ કર્યું છે લગભગ 16 દિવસ, and we finished the whole series in 16 days. We
Wow.
shot
Oh my
all these
gosh.
episodes and
Wow.
everything. Yeah, so it's just a 16 days shoot schedule that we had, and a very compact team that we had because of all the COVID protocols that we had to follow. Uh, and we were shooting in an interior space, very interior part of Gir region of Gujarat.
Hmm.
Now, fortunately, it was a place where there were no cases of COVID,
Oh, okay.
but we had to be double sure that we should not become spreaders and we should not affect anyone there because it's such an interior part. So yeah, and we created that bio bubble and we shot for long hours because we had to finish everything within 16 days. And I
Right.
guess that's the struggle that each and every regional cinema or regional entertainment industry has, because you have to create quality product in limited resources.
Right.
Yes.
And to
Yeah.
create
So and
that environment of 70s and 80s, the costume designer, as I said, has done a wonderful job. At the same time, screenplay and dialogues by Bhargav Bhai is also, I mean, fantastically done by him. Great dialogues. And characters પણ જે લોકોએ પકડ્યા છે એમાં પ્રેમ ગઢવી છે કે આપણા રાગીભાઈ, ઓ માય ગોડ, સેલ્યુટ ટુ હિમ ટુ. ગજબની લેંગ્વેજ પકડીને બધાએ જ પોતપોતાની લેંગ્વેજ એટલી સરસ રીતે પકડી કાઠિયાવાડની. અમદાવાદની લેંગ્વેજ હતી તો પ્રેમ ગઢવી actually he was looking like Ahmedabadi and fantastic salute to you, both of you. Thank you. Yeah,
And I would
Melanie.
like to mention one thing about the whole cast, that most of them are theater actors.
Oh, yeah, correct.
And they have had vast experience of creating different characters, talking in different dialect of Gujarati.
Very true.
So yeah, and that helps a lot. And another part is that the camaraderie that you see between Vitthal and the sister, Vitthal and the father, and the other characters. So all that comes together because I guess we all know each other very well because we have worked somewhere with each other in one or the other projects also. But and we were there together for 16 days. So after second, third day, you actually feel like family because that the place that we were shooting at, it gave us a lot of energy. The moment I entered in that house, I actually felt that this is Vithal's house. This is how he must have stayed here. This must be his world.
Wow.
Amazing. Abhishek, did you have any problems because of trying to do this production during COVID lockdown and so forth?
No, so Melanie, I was shooting for a Hindi film in the month of September, October, November, December. So 4 months I was in Chandigarh under a lockdown bio bubble shooting scenario. And I learned a lot of lessons there that none of us from the crew caught COVID in spite of shooting for 4 months across Chandigarh and Punjab. And that was a learning lesson. And I tried to implement that. Once I came back from Chandigarh, I started the pre-production for Vitthal. Rather, the shooting days were more than the pre-production days, sorry to say. The story was so much in my head since years that we took it up. We took the challenge that it was only, we were left with what, 12 or 15 days of pre-production. And I gathered the team. It was the momentum of the team. It was the energy of the team. They had not worked for quite some time. They also wanted to get on the roll, because of the pandemic. A lot of people were, you just couldn't work, So they all came on board and, we all had a certain amount of energy and enthusiasm. And we just, set the ball rolling. Challenges were there, but I think when you have the precaution, when you know that you have to take care of yourself, you have to take care of your crew, and you also have to take care of your environment. Because when we went into the interiors of Gir, Junagadh, we were scared the fact that there were no cases there. We could have been the spreaders.
Oh, right.
So we didn't want to be that. So yeah, we did. I mean, we all took care about it. The only problem that we faced is that we don't have any behind the scenes photographs where we don't have masks on. A couple of them only.
Yeah. So did you have any casting director for this crew, or you selected them by yourself?
No, sir, we didn't have any casting director as such. We had team in the direction team. We had a person who was taking care of casting. Most of these names, faces, we have worked with in the past, and there were couple of new faces. We met them. As I told you in the past, I don't take auditions. I don't consider myself, eligible enough to take audition of anyone. I just wanted to meet them. So we met people and we got along well, and then they were part of the team.
Correct. But awesome casting. Wonderful casting. Everybody has done wonderful job here. That's I honestly I could not sleep for the whole night after watching. I just finished it last time, and the song was behind. It was going on and on and on, and your face cannot go off, huh, Pratik bhai? Always there. So
Abhishek and Pratik both, can you tell us what projects that you're working on in the future? I know, Pratik, you're probably pretty booked and pretty much in demand after the amazing success of Scam 1992. Can you reveal anything that might be coming up in the future for us?
So I'm shooting for a Hindi web series with the director Tigmanshu Dhulia. And that's a very interesting thriller that I'm shooting with him. That should come. That should release by the end of this year. And another
Yay.
Hindi film that I'll be doing with Roy Kapoor Films, and the Tapsi Pannu is another actress who's going to be a part of that film. So
Oh,
that's a very interesting project that I'm looking forward to. Apart from these two, I have three more films and two more web series, for which I guess they'll announce soon enough. Yeah, so these are the projects in hand right now. I'm just waiting for the world to start again, and we just want to do.
that's amazing. I'm so excited for you. I'm sure everyone who is watching this is thrilled for you and excited that there's going to be so much more content coming from you for us all to enjoy. Abhishek, can you tell us what you have coming up?
So last year, as I mentioned, I shot a Hindi film. This was with Rajkumar Rao, Kriti Sanan,
Wow.
Paresh Rawal, and Ratna Pathak Shah. And we just finished shooting that. I've also edited the film. It's now the other part of the post-production is left once this pandemic, gets a little, easier for us to work. Maybe I'll go back to Bombay and start working on the post-production. Apart from that, now complete focus is on OHO Gujurati, because now we have called this Apanu Potanu, like ours platform. From the point that we launched it on the 7th of May, now it is people's platform, and it's my job and our job as a team, as OHO Gujarati team, to keep on serving people with the with content that entertains them and give them more and more content as we go ahead along.
Correct. That's OHO. I was just talking about OHO. You are absolutely right. That is the platform. એક એવું પ્લેટફોર્મ કે આપણું પોતાનું આપણું પોતિકું પ્લેટફોર્મ છે જે લોકોને મળે છે, and which is very handy. તમારી પાસે સ્માર્ટફોન હોય, you can download the app very easily and you can watch your favorite shows, favorite movies, everything. તમે થોડું ગાઈડ, હમણાં મેં એક વસ્તુ જોઈ કે you are just sharing how to download. So viewers, those who are watching this, they can see the comment of Abhishek bhai કે કેવી રીતે એને ડાઉનલોડ કરવી, અને એની લિંક આપેલી છે. અને can you please give us some more details that કેટલું સબસ્ક્રિપ્શન કેનેડિયન ડોલરમાં એનું છે અને ડાઉનલોડ કેવી રીતે થઈ શકે?
I don't know if Abhishek can hear.
Yeah, sorry. એવું છે સર કે I have shared this link from where you can download the app. Otherwise, also when you go to your Play Store or iStore, you can just type OHO space Gujarati, Gujarati, and you will find an icon that it has got a circle and a ho to it. Otherwise, this link is easier. Just take you to the Play Store. Once you reach there, you have to download the app. Once you download the app, you have to create a login ID. Preferably, if you have an Apple phone, just go with your Apple ID. If you have a Google phone or if you have a Gmail ID, just go with your Gmail ID. And give me a second. Yeah, sorry. If you have a Gmail ID, you can log in with your Gmail or phone number, any of these options. Once you log in, you will be able to see the entire app. I'll also like to show how the app looks, if this is pretty easy and visible to people. This is how the app looks technically, and you can just browse through the app. You can see what all content do we have. We have classic Gujarati films. We have some latest Gujarati films. We have paid an ode to Rita Bahaduri. આપણે નરેશ કનોડિયાની ફિલ્મો પણ છે, રમેશ મહેતાની ફિલ્મો પણ છે, રીટા ભાદુરીની ફિલ્મો છે, નવી ગુજરાતી જે ફિલ્મો છે એ છે, અને દર 10મા દિવસે જેમ અમે પ્રોમિસ કર્યું છે કે એક નવો વેબ શો લઈને આવીશું. તે સિવાય અમારી પાસે મ્યુઝિક વિડીયોઝ છે. So once you go on the app, you will be able to access all the content. But for you to watch anything, you will have to press on the content. And for example, I press here, and if you play, they will ask you for a subscription. And our subscription rate for Canada is, I'm just checking, and that is 15 USD.
15 USD.
So I think that would technically be in the conversion. I don't know in what is Canadian dollars in that case.
$18-20, I think, Canadian dollar. But
this is for around the year.
This is
for the entire
right,
year.
the whole year.
can you imagine, guys, that we all are getting this in just $18-20 round the year to watch our favorite Gujarati movies, our favorite Gujarati shows, and every 10 days he's promising us to bring a new show, which is very, very exciting. It should be very exciting for all of us, because you all know that during this pandemic, we have not been getting any Hindi movies, or even Gujarati movies are not releasing in theaters. So this platform is the best platform which has been created by him for us. અને આપણે જ્યારે દૂર દેશમાં બેઠા છીએ, કેનેડા જેવા દેશમાં, ત્યારે આપણા માટે આ બહુ અગત્યનું આપણું પોતાનું પ્લેટફોર્મ, આપણું પોતીકું પ્લેટફોર્મ આપણે ખરેખર એને એક્સપ્લોર કરવું જોઈએ, ફ્રેન્ડ્સ. અને હું તમને બધાને વિનંતી કરું છું કે એટલો જબરજસ્ત રિસ્પોન્સ કેનેડામાંથી મળવો જોઈએ કે નેક્સ્ટ યર અભિષેકભાઈ ને પ્રતિકભાઈ બે જણને હું ફ્લાઇટમાં રાઈટ હવે ધડાક દઈને અહીંયા બોલાવી લઉં.
સર, એક વસ્તુ એડ કરવા માંગીશ. છે ને, અમને 2-3 દિવસથી જરાક એક ઇશ્યુ પેમેન્ટ ગેટવેના મળી રહ્યા હતા. ઘણા બધા લોકોના ફીડબેક્સ આવ્યા હતા કે તમે રેઝર પે નું ગેટવે ના રાખશો, અમને પેપેલ જોઈએ છે. So we have integrated PayPal right now. So once you click on the content, they will ask you to subscribe. You have to put in your details. Though it will show કે આ રેઝર પે નું ઓપ્શન છે, પણ તમે જ્યારે રેઝર પે પર ક્લિક કરશો, નીચે એક ડ્રોપ ડાઉનમાં PayPal આવશે. PayPal ને ક્લિક કરશો એટલે તમે તમારું પેમેન્ટ કરી શકશો. તે છતાંય જો કોઈને પણ તકલીફ હોય, બિલકુલ પેનિક થવાની જરૂર નથી. OHO help@ohogujurati.com is the helpline. You will mail it to them. They will instantly resolve your problem in at least 24 hours time. And yeah, I mean, thoda gana kaik tamne issue aave to I will just share the helpline number, or I mean helpline email ID, which can resolve the issue. But now we have integrated PayPal, so I think it should be sorted.
PayPal is really good option. And at the same time, I would like to add here something, that if you have iPhone, with your iPhone password, I think you'll be able to, it will be directly linked to your credit card maybe, and you can pay right away, I think, like other
Yes, wonderful. For iPhone users, it's pretty easy. You just click on the subscribe button, and you have a drop down on the right hand side corner which says that login through your Apple ID. You just swipe that, and there you go. You can access any of the content, start watching Vitthal Teedi, give your reviews, and then you have a lot of films and content to watch and stream through until we come on the 20th. We are bringing Kadak Mithi, another show of ours. And before that, on the 15th, we are launching Lavni Bhavai, which also has Pratik Gandhi in it. So yeah, so there is a lot of content coming up.
Yeah. That's how I subscribe through the Apple app, and like I said, you can watch it also on your desktop through the website as well. So there's so much content there. It just launched on Friday, and I was amazed at how much you have on the service. So we have had some questions in the comments, and if anyone else would like to add any in the chat. One question that we have is for both Abhishek and Pratik. Has anything changed from working on Bey Yaar to Vitthal as both an actor and a director in terms of skills, set, approach to a scene, or overall experience? Pratik, I'll let you go first.
I guess we both have grown as I've grown as an actor. He has got more experience in his field. So yeah, that has added a lot of value in each one of us. And then the collaboration always is fun, because now I guess we see, with experience of almost 8 years and working in different projects with different people, gives you a lot of different perspective. So that has added a lot of value.
Pinak is asking question to both of you, that has anything changed from working on Bey Yaar to Vitthal Teedi as actor director in terms of skill set or your approaches to a scene and overall experience?
I thought so, because Pinak Bhai mentions that So I thought so, because Pinak Bhai mentions that he works for Pajama Films, and this was a very question that would come from a filmmaker or from the fraternity. Hi Pinak Bhai. So mara mate personally, I don't know if you would be okay with answering me in Gujarati, but mara mate personally, એઝ અ હ્યુમન બિંગ વી ઇવોલ્વ એવરી ડે, બટ જ્યારે તમે કોઈની સાથે સંબંધ બાંધો છો ને, તો મને નથી લાગતું કે એમાં કંઈ બદલાય છે. તો between the relationship between that I and Pratik share, nothing has changed. It has only grown, very stronger and better. I don't think now we need to really even discuss scenes, because initially when we were shooting for Bey Yaar, I used to give him a lot of lowdown of what the scene is like, this, that, and all of that. Now it's just about exchanging that glances with each other, and we know that what I am trying to speak and what he is trying to reciprocate it to, like, and what he has, he has to say. So it has become that sort of a relationship. Obviously, as human beings with experience, we all evolve and change and we grow. I think I would like to assume that I've grown, because I took up a challenge of, making something that is out of my comfort zone. Pratik took up a challenge of, after, doing something as big as Scam, and coming back and doing something in his mother language, is a wonderful thing. That goes and says a lot about his modesty and his, will to work for his mother tongue.
Pratik, how did it feel to come back after reaching such success and then to come back home and do this home project?
I don't know. I never felt that I was going back somewhere. I always felt that, yeah, this is how it is supposed to be, because I kept working on stage. Even the moment Scam released, immediately after the lockdown finished, I started working on stage also. I was performing my Gujarati plays, I was performing my Hindi and English plays. Similarly, Gujarati films have given me so much. So I guess I can connect very easily with Gujarati films or anything that comes from my motherland. So yeah, I guess that I never felt that I'm going back or I'm doing something different than it. Because for me, creating character is more important. Language is okay, because performing art doesn't have any language that way.
True.
Yeah,
Very
I
true.
mean, just seeing your work, as you said, I'm not seeing Pratik the person. You are someone who's so talented, and I'm seeing that character. I don't know that I can necessarily say that of all Hindi actors. Let's just put it that way. Sometimes it's like we're seeing that persona over and over again, but that's not you. And I just want to tell you how happy I am that someone so talented is reaching such acclaim and that you're getting so much work. And I can't wait to see all your future projects.
Thank you.
We've had another question come in, and we'll give it to both of you. But first, Pratik, what genre of projects would you love to work in?
Any and every, I guess. I'm open for experiments. So yeah, different genres, different characters, different storytelling style. I'm open. I have no set genres in my mind.
So you said the next series is a thriller. And what is the Hindi film that you said that might be coming out soon? What genre is that?
So I guess that is a thriller comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a satirical comedy though, so it's going to be a very interesting space.
Wow. Looking forward to it.
Abhishek, what about you?
I am a huge fan or a follower or admirer of drama genre. So anything that comes under the purview of drama excites me first. But drama is a bigger umbrella. It could be comedy drama, it could be thriller drama. So I have probably chosen a genre which itself encompasses a lot of genres. So yeah, I mean, whatever excites me. For me, the genre is excitement.
So currently you have so many stories in pipeline and you are working on those. As you rightly mentioned that so many people have also sent you some stories and you are working on those things.
Yes, sir. In fact, I have to tell you this one thing. A lot of stories have come to you has come to us, as I mentioned on the email. One of the stories that struck us was titled as 110 in the subject line. And I was like, what is this? And let me check this out. And when I read it, I shared it with the team. Everyone was really excited for that script. And we then scrolled down and saw who has written it. And it had come from America and from USA. And the name was Swapnil Dave. And we tried to connect with him. And we came to know he's working in Apple since 15 years. And he was a little skeptical to share whether we would really read his story or not. And we read it. And when we called him back, he said, are you guys serious that you have read my story and you want to make something out of it? I said, yes, that's what this initiative is all about. If you're sitting somewhere across the world doing something, you have got a story, draft it, send it across to us. If we find it exciting enough, why not? Let's make it. And now Swapnil's story has been made into a 6-episode web series.
Wow.
Amazing.
We are shooting in the month of August in Rajkot.
Wow.
Amazing.
Is he from Canada? Is he from Canada? Because I
No,
know
no, Swapnil Dave is he resides in California.
Oh, acha, acha.
Oh, wow.
I have one Swapnil Dave in my group as well. So and he's also Swapnil Dave. So
I am sure this Swapnil Dave also has got a story to share.
Wow.
So we've had a question come in. Who are your role models? Pratik, would you like to take that one first?
Yeah, role models. I guess my role model is my father. He's always been my role model. So yeah, I mean, because I've learned almost everything in my life from him.
So I think I read somewhere that he was also not an actor, but he was a performer in some way. Is that correct? A musician?
Yeah, he was a musician. He used to play tabla and rhythms. He was a Bharatanatyam dancer. He used to choreograph inter-school competitions for all the dancers and all. He used to compose those songs for song competitions, inter-school, interstate, youth competitions and all. And so I guess I've got this germ of acting or art and everything at a correct age, and all thanks to him.
I'm sure he would be very proud of where you are today. Abhishek, how about you? Any role models? You've worked with some pretty incredible people.
Yeah. So, I mean, my father, again, I mean, like Pratik, he's my role model, and I've learned a lot from him. I've seen his journey from, coming from Rajasthan and working at the, doing meager work, and now settled as a industrialist, as a businessman. Also, the second most important role model, it sounds a little strange, but to be very honest, for a man who has been born and brought up and been raised in a Hindi-speaking household, who hails primarily and ancestrally from Rajasthan, who speaks Marwadi half of the time, only the people of Gujarat, the land of Gujarat, and the language and its culture could be the biggest role model for him to even dream in Gujarati and make films in Gujarati. So I think the land of Gujarat is one of the biggest role models, and I completely consider myself fortunate and indebted to having born in Ahmedabad and to be able to do something about my language. All my films are an attempt to learn this culture and understand this culture better and learn the language better.
Okay, so we've had a question as a newcomer, because I think because Pratik has so many fans from outside Gujarat, what films would you recommend for a newcomer to watch? And I guess my recommendation would be any of Abhishek films or any of Pratik's films would be the ones to check out. So
okay.
do either of you have a favorite that you would?
Yeah, Abhishek, shoot, man.
You will have to help me, Pratik. I'll speak of one, you speak of the other one. You guys can start with Bhavani Bhavai. You can come down to the contemporary times Better Half, which was one of the first films that was set in the urban landscape. Then you can check out Chello Divas, which is the most popular Gujarati film we all know. The fourth film would be Lavani Bhavai. Again, it was very popular. Pratik was in it. And the fifth film would be Helaro, which won us a national award last year.
Yeah.
Correct. But
Pratik, is
You
there
can
anyone that you
also
would
give a
want to add?
shot. I don't know, because I don't know where you will get this chance to watch this film, but Mare Jao Pele Paar, Sanjay Kumar's film, on which they made Khilona. So pick up any Sanjay Kumar's film and you can just watch it. He was brilliant and phenomenal. And of course, a couple of my films which I would recommend is Bey Yaar. Obviously, I guess I'm sure, because Bey Yaar to Bey Yaar is there. Bey Yaar, Wrong Side Raju, Donki. I guess these are the films. Yeah, I would recommend.
Okay. I'm trying to say another question. Somebody asked, could you talk about the evolution of Gujarati films? I think both of you are at the center of that. Abhishek, would you like to take that?
So for the longest time, people had this misconception that Gujarati films are stuck in a limbo of, Ghagra, Kedu, Gam, Gokiru, Gai. But to be very honest, it was not problem with the audiences. It was actually problem with us as a fraternity, that we couldn't go beyond the formulaic representation or the melodramatic representation of drama or story or narrative and the culture. As soon as there were attempts being made to drift a little away from this formula, people had wholeheartedly accepted that and thronged into the cinema halls. So evolution of Gujarati cinema would have a lot of pivotal and instrumental people in the history, and Naresh Kanodia, Upendra Trivedi, Sanjeev Kumar. So there are a lot of these actors, these filmmakers who have made a very important contribution. Ketan Mehta. So these people have made a lot of contribution, and now what we as a fraternity in last 1 decade are trying to do is to bring more and more audience globally, not only Gujaratis but beyond Gujaratis. Let us share our culture with not limiting to us but go beyond. I mean, like you sitting here and reviewing a Gujarati film, isn't that wonderful feeling?
They're very special.
Us. Yeah, that's special for us, because if we could reach you, if our story could relate with you, that I think is the purpose of cinema, to exchange cultures, to talk about each other's culture in our own language. And for that, the first thing that we all need to do as Gujaratis, આપણે સૌએ સૌથી પહેલા આપણી ભાષાને માન આપવો જોઈએ, એને પ્રણામ કરવો જોઈએ, આપણા કલ્ચરને પ્રણામ કરવો જોઈએ, કારણ કે આ છે તો આપણે છીએ. અને જો આપણે આને આગળ વધારીશું તો દુનિયાભરના લોકો આપણા કલ્ચરને, આપણી ભાષાને માનશે, જાણશે અને વખાણશે. અને આ બધા માટે સૌથી પહેલા આપણા ઘરથી શરૂ કરવું જોઈએ. હું મારા જ દાખલો આપું છું. નાનપણમાં મારા પપ્પાએ ફરજિયાત મને કહ્યું હતું કે તારે ગુજરાતી તો વાંચવું જ પડશે. I was studying in an English medium, but he said તારે ગુજરાતી વાંચવું જ પડશે, ભલે છાપું વાંચ પણ ગુજરાતી વાંચ. એ જ રીતે તમારા ઘરમાં બાળકો હોય, તમારી નેક્સ્ટ જનરેશન હોય, એમને આગ્રહ રાખો કે બહુ અઘરું હોય છે, અઠવાડિયામાં એક વખત માત્ર એક પાનું પણ જો તમે વંચાઈ દેશો ને, એ બહુ જ છે આપણી ભાષા માટે. અને આપણી ભાષાને કોઈના પણ તરસની જરૂર નથી, પણ કાલે ઉઠીને આપણને જ આપણી ભાષાની જરૂર પડશે. એટલા માટે તમારે તૈયારી કરવાની જરૂર છે. ભાષાને કે આપણી સંસ્કૃતિને આપણી જરૂર નથી, આપણને આપણી ભાષાને સંસ્કૃતિની જરૂર પડવાની છે.
કરેક્ટ. અને એક એમ્બેસેડર તરીકે તમે આ વાત કહી રહ્યા છો, એક પાયોનિયર તરીકે તમને બંને જણાને ગુજરાતના લોકો અને દુનિયામાં વસતા ગુજરાતીઓ કાયમ માટે વર્ષ સુધી ને પેઢીઓની પેઢીઓ સુધી તમને યાદ રાખશે. આ એક પાયોનિયરિંગ કરવા માટેનું કારણ એ છે કે એક તો અર્બન ગુજરાતી સિનેમાનું પાયોનિયરિંગ તમે લોકોએ કર્યું, અને પાછું ઓહો ગુજરાતી એટલે પહેલું ગુજરાતી પ્લેટફોર્મ પણ તમે આવ્યું. એટલે બે જગ્યાએ તમે અભિષેકભાઈ પાયોનિયરિંગ કર્યું છે. અને પ્રતિકભાઈ એસવીનો કે એમણે આખી એક જર્નીની જે શરૂઆત કરી છે ને અત્યારે જે સ્ટેજ ઉપર છે, દેટ્સ રિયલી ગ્રેટ. એના માટે દુનિયાભરના લોકો તમને કાયમ માટે યાદ રાખશે. થેન્ક યુ સો મચ ફોર ડુઈંગ દેટ. સો તમને એક બહુ સરસ મજાનો ડાયલોગ પ્રતિકભાઈ લોકો વિઠ્ઠલ તીડીનો બોલવાનું કહે છે, તો જરા સંભળાવશો?
Vitthal Teedi, I'm sure બધાએ ટ્રેલર તો જોયું જ હશે. And this particular dialogue is very famous right from the day trailer was released. કે જુગારી ને ખેલાડીમાં ફરક શું હોય છે? તો એ જ કે જુગારી નસીબથી રમે ને ખેલાડી મગજથી. I guess આના સિવાયના બાકીના ડાયલોગ તો તમારા જોવાના બાકી છે, એટલે I don't want to give any spoilers here.
પ્રતિકભાઈ, તમારા માટે વિઠ્ઠલ તીડીનો એક ડાયલોગ હું બોલું છું.
ક્યા વાત હે? તમારા
માટે બોલું છું. ભલે આખું ગામ તને તીડી કહે, પણ તું અમારા માટે એકો છે દોસ્ત.
ક્યા વાત.
અરે
બહુ સરસ ડાયલોગ્સ લખ્યા છે અને બહુ સરસ બધા ઘણા ડાયલોગ સારા છે. બાદશાહની સામે તીડી બેહાડશો, ક્યાં વાત.
ભાર્ગવ પુરોહિત એને ડાયલોગ્સ લખ્યા છે અને એને 100 સલામ છે. એ પોતે રીજન થી આવે છે, કાઠિયાવાડ થી, એને એનું કાઠિયાવાડ આપણને સૌને જીવડાવ્યું છે.
ક્યાં વાત. બહુ જ સરસ ડાયલોગ્સ, બહુ સરસ મ્યુઝિક ખરેખર સરસ ગાયું છે પણ એટલું સરસ બધા. અને I congratulate both of you for this wonderful web series and platform OHO. Over to
Thank you
Melanie.
so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's truly a wonderful series and exciting, this new OTT platform. And I, for one, am very glad that I know part of my subscription dollars are going to support young filmmakers and new original stories coming out. So I'm pleased that is part of what you're trying to do with this new platform, and everyone else should be cognizant of that too, because I want to view your stuff legally and pay the creators who are making such wonderful films and series.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Edmonton Movie Club. Thank you, Ramesh sir. Thank you, Melanie. Thanks everyone for joining us. Thank you for hearing us out. Thank you for your time. અને તમે સિરીઝ જોજો, તમને કંઈ ગમ્યું હોય તો ચોક્કસ જણાવજો, કંઈ ન ગમ્યું હોય તો ચોક્કસ સૂચન આપજો, પણ જોજો અને આપના ઘરના બાળકોને પણ જોડાવજો. મેં પણ એ સિરીઝ જોઈને 2-4 શબ્દો આપણા ગુજરાતી અને કાઠિયાવાડીના શીખ્યા છે, કદાચ તમે પણ શીખશો.
એક બીજી વાત મારે તમને ખાસ કહેવી છે કે બધાને હું એટલા માટે જોવાની વિનંતી પાછો કરું છું કે આમાં ક્યાંય કોઈ ખરાબ શબ્દોનો ઉપયોગ નથી થયો, જે જનરલી વેબ સિરીઝમાં ખરેખર દેટ ઇઝ ધ બિગેસ્ટ થિંગ. ભાઈ, તમે ખૂબ ધ્યાન રાખ્યું છે અને સેલ્યુટ ટુ યુ ફોર ધેટ. ઇવન બહુ સરસ તમે સબ્જેક્ટ લીધો છે અને એને બહુ સરસ રીતે નિરૂપણ કર્યું છે. એટલે બધા જ જોજો, આ ફેમિલી સાથે બધાએ બેસીને જોવા જેવી છે. He has rightly mentioned this. Thank you once again for your valuable time.
Thank you.
Abhishek bhai, thank you.
તમે સર એક જ વાત
Thank
કહેવા
you.
માંગીશ, તમે આ વાત આગળ મૂકી છે તો એક સ્પષ્ટીકરણ એ પણ કરવા માંગીશ કે છેલ્લા 1.5-2 વર્ષમાં જેટલું આપણે ગુજરાતીઓએ કે ભારતીયોએ ઓટીટી પ્લેટફોર્મ જોયા છે, લોકોને એક કમ્પ્લેન રહી છે કે અભદ્ર ભાષા કે અશ્લીલતાનો પ્રયોગ થાય છે. મારું એવું કેવું છે અને મારું એવી ગેરંટી છે કે ઓહો ગુજરાતી તમે સંપૂર્ણ પરિવાર સાથે બેસીને મોટા ટીવી પર કાસ્ટ કરીને જોઈ શકશો.
ये बात બધા
થેન્ક યુ.
ખૂબ આનંદ થયો સાહેબ, ખૂબ આનંદ થયો આ વાતનો. Thank you
થેન્ક
so
યુ
much.
સર.
Thank you for a wonderful
Thank you,
discussion, and thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you.
Good
Bye.
night.
Thank you very much for having us. Thank you.
Bye.
See you.
Have a good day. Bye.